Visiting with Lindsey Wilson football coach Chris Oliver on National Signing Day, at least the second National Signing Day for football. Coach, first question, what are some quick impressions of this class of 2018?
Well, it's a little cliche, but it is a deep class for us. We're really excited about the group of guys, and we're adding a lot of depth on the lines and a lot of athleticism. But I think one of the parts that we're most excited about, just the character and the qualities, and getting to know some of these young men more throughout the recruiting process, which stretches back into last spring through the summer. And we're just excited about the group of guys that you bring them to campus, and you sell them on the culture of our program and what we're about, in addition to the academic and football opportunities that we have. So it's just a good group of guys. It's going to add a lot of positive qualities in addition to talent to our roster.
Coach, each year is different, so what are some specific needs that you wanted to address with this recruiting class?
Yeah, we went into this class and we knew we needed to build some depth at a few positions, specifically linebacker, defensive back. We needed to get a few more guys in those younger groups, and offensive line was another position that we wanted to have a few extra guys in the group. I think we addressed those really well, but at the same time, we try to get our recruiting each year to a point where we can be really balanced across the roster. You never want to have a glaring weakness as it presents with graduation and guys moving on out of the program after they've completed their 4 years. So I think that's one of the signs of good to great programs, is that they don't have those big weaknesses from year to year. But at the same time, there's things that happen within the roster where you need to build that depth. So I thought we did a great job across the board. Those were a few of the positions where we went into the class knowing that we wanted to address those in a little bit different ways. But I thought when you look at the class as a whole, at every position, I really do think it was pretty balanced.
Coach, this is the first year that Division I actually had an early signing period before Christmas. How did that signing period impact how this class came together?
Well, that was one of the big unknowns for this recruiting class for us, and all coaches at the NAI and Division II levels especially, just looking at how that was going to occur. So, we were really conscious of getting early offers out. We wanted to be ready for those things, and as they occurred in December, just before Christmas. So I thought our assistant coaches did a great job of identifying young men who fit our needs and our program early on in the process. We probably had offers out a little bit sooner than some of our other competitors at the NAI and Division II level, and I think that paid off for us in the long run. But at the same time, some of those guys were making other visits after they had already been to LWC, so that was just an interesting dynamic with that. I think at the end of the day, there weren't a lot of changes to our process. But young men were certainly waiting throughout December, getting past that initial signing date at the Division I level, and then continuing the process with schools like us. So at the end of the day, there weren't a whole lot of changes with that, but it was certainly an interesting dynamic, and it will be interesting to see how that continues to change in future years.
Coach, you've had so much great success over really since you've been here, but back-to-back 11-win seasons, and what kind of impact does the recent success of Blue Raider football have on this on your recruiting efforts?
Yeah, it's exciting to be able to walk into a high school, talk with a young man, talk with a high school coach in this region, and they know what LWC football is all about. When we started in 2010, 2011, 12, a lot of people didn't know who we are or who we were. So those things have changed, and our success has opened up a lot of doors for us. So when we show up and we're recruiting young men, I'd like to think that means a lot. At the same time, we're still competing against a lot of really good schools within our conference and within Kentucky and beyond at other levels. And when a young man gets that LWC offer, sometimes that brings a little bit of attention to him. And with social media, there's not a lot of secrets anymore. When a young man has an offer from us or someone else, everyone else sort of knows that most of the time. So that's just an interesting dynamic, and part of recruiting in 2017 and 2018, and the dynamic of that. But certainly our success over the years, on and off the field, has allowed us to open up a lot of doors. And I think that you see that reflected in this year's class. When you look at the young men that we've signed, these are guys that were attracted in a lot of ways to the success of our program and the success of our school and the opportunity that they can have here at LWC. So certainly that has opened up a lot of opportunities for us as a program. That's going to allow us to continue to compete, to have that type of success, and hopefully more in the near future.
Coach, congratulations on another successful signing day.
Thanks a lot. We're very excited.